right, welcome. Welcome, this is M-Dog. We are playing Grand Theft Auto 5 with some mods. And you may already know about this. This was all new to me. I sort of stumbled upon it. And it's just been so exciting and so fun. I wanted to make a video to share it. To be honest, I'm still learning so much. There's a lot that I don't know yet, and I don't want to misrepresent things. But basically what we're playing is a mod that's the LCPD First Responder mod. So LCPDFR for short. And it seems like there's a lot of contributors. I don't want to mess up sort of who's responsible for this. You have the main modification, which basically changes Grand Theft Auto 5 into a police officer or law enforcement simulator. And then you also have a ton of plugins, which at this point I've not only got the base mod installed, but I've got a number of plugins. You go deeper down that rabbit hole if you get into it. So I just want to show you a little bit about what I've experienced so far, sort of what I've been learning so far. And there is a good bit of depth, especially as you go down the plugin trail and adding more and more complexity to it. But you say I'm starting off with Michael here, and you just go up to a police station, you hit E, and that's going to sort of start your game in playing the LCPD FR simulator portion of the game, the mod. And at this point, you can choose from any number of agencies, as well as some other things you can change as well. So we'll just choose, and again, I'm sort of scrolling through so you can see the different ones that are available. Sort of from a city level to state or county, and then state, and even sort of some federal options. So let's just go with the SAHP agency. You can, change their clothing to a degree at least, make some gear modifications, change where the insignia is, and then you can also do some like random props, which mostly has to do with sunglasses and hats and stuff. So, and then once you're satisfied with your choices, then you get to make the choice of what vehicle you want to drive. It's very fun on the motorcycle, and maybe we'll go with an unmarked vehicle here, and shows you what it's like with the sirens, and then you select. So we're in an unmarked Buffalo here. I've seen a lot of people on the forums. Oh, and let me just go ahead and say, this video is not going to be how do you install this mod, how do you get the plugins working. If there's a request for that, I'm happy to try to go over that. The issue is there's people that just understand it so much better than I do. And let me go ahead and turn our radio off for just a minute so we don't start getting calls while I'm talking here. But there's so many people that understand it more. If you just go to the LCPDFR website, the mod hub, the community, you'll find videos that show you how to install the mod. There are a few steps, but if you follow the steps, it's not hard. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And then you try that out, see if you like it, and then from there are, like I said, a lot of plugins that you can install. So the base mod is going to allow you to play as a police officer, respond to radio calls. So you may get called out to, this situation. That a lot of them are pursuits. Sometimes you'll get called out to a situation where, there's gunfire already involved, and but then some of the mods give you variety. They can change up the types of vehicles you have access to, but they can change more core things like the types of calls you go on. So there's just a lot of ways in which, without getting too complex, because a lot of things I don't understand yet, let me just show you a little bit of kind of what does happen. You've got a couple of basic tools that you sort of first learn by hitting the B. It's like default to B. You get backup. You change your code level. If we're actually in a pursuit situation, we could also change to pursuit. But code 2, of course, they're not coming in as hot as code 3. But you can call for local, state, SWAT, and other reinforcements. If you're in a pursuit situation, you can also call in for aerial backup, so a helicopter, try to keep visual on whoever you're pursuing. And then N is sort of an interaction menu that gives you some actions, which you can do all these with shortcuts anyway, so I don't use that as much. But the radio, and there's a shortcut for everything, I just don't know it all yet. But radio, this is where we're going to hit yes and say that we're ready for calls. Before we do that, let me just kind of show you. It's easy to turn on sirens off and on. And one thing you can do, well, first of all, let me say a couple different things I've noticed, both in my own play style of doing this and also with as I've sort of seen other people and read about how other people are playing this as we just run this red light. Sorry about that, folks. We're going to pull up on the sidewalk here. Oh, excuse me, lady. Some people go for the very realistic playthrough. Like they're not ever wanting their character to die, so they're very cautious. They have lots of backup. They try not to get into situations where, and then other people kind of still play it like you would play Grand Theft Auto, pretty reckless. And for me, the more realistic approach is fun. Although when I'm streaming it or making a video, I might get a little more crazy. But anyway, so there's just so much you can do. I was trying to remember. So there's a lot of commands that I don't remember. I know that I have the ability to like set up a speed trap or to even like sit here and like see how fast the cars are going. So you can just observe, like if you observe somebody, you can pull over anyone you want, but if you observe somebody like running a red light or doing something illegal, you can always just go ahead and do that and respond to that situation. But the other feature, and then we're going to go ahead and do this now, is you turn on your radio. So you're now available to get dispatched. You're on the clock, and then you can continue to do whatever you're doing, but you will occasionally get radio calls. And we'll give you a brief description of what's going on, and you can hit Y to say yes, I'm going to respond to that. It normally will give you radio calls in the general vicinity where you're currently located. So we could follow this guy. Sometimes you'll see just people who are driving erratic in the game. He made pretty much a complete stop there, so we're not going to harass him. You'll see people driving under the influence and stuff, and so then you can pull them over and give them a breathalyzer. Alright, so we've got a possession of drugs for sale call. We're going to go hot here, and while we're going, and try not to run into the wall, we are going to ask for local backup. And let me see if I can actually go to pursuit. I can't. For some reason, sometimes it gets, and I don't understand why, but sometimes it gets triggered to allow you to do pursuit, and other times it doesn't. We should have just gone ahead and cut over there. A lot of people play this game with the keyboard, with the joystick, like their Xbox 360 controller when they're driving, especially. But there are a lot of calls, a lot of commands, so it's kind of hard to do that when you're out of the car, and it's kind of when you want to switch to keyboard. So I've just kind of gotten used to doing keyboard a lot. We're going to go ahead and flag this person to pull him over, and we are again going to ask for support. These can often turn into these can often quickly escalate when they are suspected to have drugs. So we've got backup over there, and he's coming up close. So we're going to approach the vehicle. And so this is what you do on traffic stops. You're going to approach the vehicle, and we have several options. Okay, and he is now just...
We have a suspect resisting arrest in Rockford Hill.
Sorry, a couple things happened just now, and I'm trying to figure out... It's telling me that you can mark evidence. So I don't know if that means he actually threw something out or not. But he saw all the heat on him, and apparently he got... And I don't know. So it looks like this got... Okay, there we go. We escaped out of it. All right, let's get on to this pursuit. And again, I'm still learning the commands. Thankfully, other people are pursuing him. This is a hot pursuit now, so it should, pursuit is now, I'm not even watching. Pursuit is now an option, so we're going to ask for local air support.
We've got units requesting air support over West
And at this point, we're now just trying to catch up to him without completely wrecking our car or killing any civilians. But And this isn't always. Why did a police boat just drop out of the sky? It's a little glitchy sometimes, apparently. This is not always how it goes. You can definitely get like the calmer calls where, you know, even if you do find drugs on the person, you just arrest them and they peacefully go. But then when they're, especially when it's drug calls, there just seems like a higher opportunity, higher chance of it escalating and turning into a pursuit like this. Gunfire can also break out pretty quickly. Once they're cornered, instead of being arrested, he may start firing on the police. So we got to be very cautious with that. All right, and because of a Alright, so we're going to go automatic tactics. To be honest, I don't know what that means. That's a new plugin I'm using. But it looks like right now we're on safe. I'm assuming that's going to actually be what instructs the AI how they're going to do the pursuit. And so this pursuit's been going on a little while. It's starting to feel like it's getting a little dangerous. We're going to ask for State Patrol unit as well, just to increase the amount of backup we have. And was that pursuit? It was. Okay. Alright, so he's over there. He's going down the wrong lane. So we'd love to block him in here. We had a chance there. Didn't quite get up on him enough. See if we can get him off the road. Where's our backup? Okay, there's some drug paraphernalia. Alright, so he's running on foot. He's running on foot as well. He just got run over. So we're supposed to be able to mark where evidence is. Oh, as you see, we just crouched down there pretty much. Alright, so they're on foot. Let's just get back in the car. So there is like a court system, and some of that is because of the plugins I'm using. But marking evidence and making sure the evidence gets picked up is important for that element of the game. Okay, we turned him around. The other guy may just escape here. I'm surprised at how long it's taken us to... Alright, we're gonna switch to our stun gun here. This poor guy is just having a difficult time. Just stay down, buddy. Alright, so now we're... Oh. Okay, we should be able to arrest him here. Trying to hold it down to arrest. So we should automatically cuff. Don't know why it's... Alright, now we should be able to... There we go. Sometimes it is a little buggy. Again, I think you have to get in the right position, maybe slightly behind him. And we're now hit just 8 to get transportation. And I guess realistically you want to wait for transportation to get here. The other guy is still on foot. It's still showing where he is, and I don't know if we just have eyes on him or if it continues to allow us to see where he's at. But let's turn our sirens off for right now. It looks like the eyes in the sky are back here, so I don't see how we still know where that guy is. Alright, and the other guy, it looks like he is going to escape. It's showing he is leaving. But I was trying to, again, figure out how to mark the evidence that's out here. Or to do a search. Vehicle manager. And we can get a tow truck. This guy's flipping an officer off. It's not very nice. So that should, the car should disappear. And again, I mean, that's clearly the drug paraphernalia, but it's just not letting me get it. So we will continue. We'll go to the next call and see what happens next. Maybe you can do it from the car? How do you mark? And I apologize. I don't need to get into the minutia here. I'll have to look that up later. How do you mark evidence to be picked up? And it told me earlier in the video, and I just missed it. So I don't know if that police officer just like ran into that wall or if he's actually doing something over here. But he looks pretty calm. So he may just be stuck a little buggy in the car there. Alright. So as we start driving crazy here. So we'll see what our next call is, and we can make sure we're still on the radio, and we are. So we'll be available for the next call when it comes. Yeah, I was trying to remember the command for pulling up your speeding. It's just got some cool elements in how you hand out speeding tickets, the way you track speed, both with like a radar gun type system, and also by showing your average speed as you sort of ride next to someone to kind of, if you're in an unmarked vehicle or whatever, just trying to pace with someone to see what their speed is. And I don't know if, you see that green that's showing up on our map. I'm not sure if that is, again, that evidence. And it's just hasn't disappeared yet. But that is in the same position, right? Yeah. Looks like multiple things here. So it's still, and so I'm a little nervous that we may not get another we may not get another radio call until we take care of that evidence or something. Perhaps if we alright, so here's another feature. There's a console feature, and there's all kinds of commands you can do. So we're going to just transport to the police station, and then we can just get in a different vehicle. I think there is a way you can, yes, we did. We didn't collect any evidence, so now it's gonna tell us the court results, and so he'll have some charges, but because we didn't actually have any pieces of evidence that we collected, he's going to be found guilty of other things, but not of drug possession. So resisting arrest. And that may be it. Yeah, so 1 year. 1 year of jail. Which, I don't know that there's a warrant out for Max Anderson. We missed 6 pieces of evidence. And I think that's from, if I could have remembered the command for actually searching the car. Okay, so that call now got wrapped up. So we should be available now for other calls, and we'll get into a regular police unit here, and we'll see what the next call is. And it's interesting, like there's some quote unquote rougher parts of town, I think, where I've noticed that it's much more likely that just gang warfare can break out, and if you don't have backup with you, it can become a really bad situation very quickly. And no matter where you are, you can always request a code 2 police backup, and somebody will come out in the vehicle, and then you can use that vehicle to continue to go yourself. So that's a quick way if you just kind of get stuck without a vehicle, if you don't want to get transported to the local whatever the closest police department is. That's one way you can do it. You can also, in this game, when you do make arrests, if you want to transport the person yourself, you can take them and actually physically put them in jail. So there's just a lot of cool things. Again, it's one of those, I haven't played any police simulations that have been more like action oriented that have been as good as this mod is. At least what I've seen. There may be something out there that I just don't know about. And here's another call.
1 Lincoln 18. We have a traffic alert in
Drug runners again.
Mirror Park for possession of drugs for sale.
Okay, we'll take it again. International drug dealing. This sounds a little bit more like a little bit more potentially violent, I would just guess. Let's see if we took the right path here. I think we did, because he's headed down on the interstate. So we definitely want to request backup. Pursuit back. We can't do pursuit yet. So we won't do that yet. I think actually requesting backup before there's a pursuit situation may not be the most helpful, because they go to the location where you're at. So by the time we need them, we may not be in the same general area. So just to tell you, you look away for a second, especially when I'm not using a controller to drive. Trying to do it with keyboard and mouse, for me at least, doing the driving bits it's a little tenuous. One thing that I wish, and I think I have a plugin that was supposed to do this, or maybe I didn't get this plugin, but that would give you more of a description. Okay, it looks like it's this car right in front of us. A description of what we're looking for.
1 Lincoln 18.
Okay, we've signaled him to stop.
We have a suspect resisting arrest on Del Perro Freeway.
So you press 9 to mark any evidence. And then collect it. So maybe it was marked, I just didn't collect it.
We have an officer in need of assistance in Del Perro. Respond code 3.
We probably ought to get local air support. I mean, I just suspect that this is going to be... He got through there, didn't he? There's an unmarked police. Sorry, excuse me. Alright, we got to build up speed. He's actually moving really fast. And there's the helicopter. It's just so cool. I think we just passed him. Did he spin out of control? There he is. Yeah, he has been. Alright. Oh, it's a she. Are they gonna tase her? Alright, they got her. So again, there is a way to search. And let me get my vehicle out of the way here. So this is where I don't know how to do a search on the vehicle. I'm just processing a parking ticket here and I didn't mean to.
We have an illegally parked vehicle in Pacific Bluff. Target vehicle license plate 6-2 Edward X-ray Young 824. Proceed with patrol.
Okay. Yep. They're gonna light her up. She just ran somebody over. She was trying to steal the car and then she just ran somebody over.
We've got an ambulance requested in,
Okay, buddy. That's good.
Pacific Bluff.
Wow. And this is turning into a nightmare. Alright. I don't know why I opened that door. Let's just get out of here. There's the EMS. So hopefully take care of that poor lady. I mean, she did steal a car and then run over somebody with it, but with police officers standing right there. But still, she was getting worked on by that other guy. Alright, let's flip around here. And so I never saw any drug evidence, and because I can't remember how to actually search the car, like, I'm not going to be able to. So I've got to, after I finish this, or maybe here in a minute, I'll just look it up real fast, but I need to figure out how to do that, because on these drug cases, that's vital to being able to prosecute. So. Alright, so let's get somewhere where we can be out of the way and wait for our next call. And we'll make sure we're still available for calls. We are. Alright, let me look at this real quick. First of all, my chroma screen is really messed up here. So let me see if I can adjust that just a little bit. It sort of requires constant babysitting, unfortunately. And then the other thing we were going to look up really fast is it looks like it's G. Or F10. So we'll try G or F10 next time we have the opportunity to try that. So we haven't had any calls. And so there is a plug-in for the mod that's called Search Warrant, and it changes the how searching happens, but it still should work with either G or F10 if I was reading that correctly. The quick Google search I did there. And a lot of times, you know, if I'm feeling like playing this realistically, I will, like, when I'm not hot, I'm not going for a call, I will just go ahead and, you know, obey traffic laws as much as possible and kind of drive like you normally would, and then adjust once you get called out. Over here at the fruit station stand. That's a cool little car though. So it's been a little while since we've gotten called out. And I think there are ways to force radio calls to come in, like commands to do that perhaps. I've never really done that because it's kind of just a fun game to chill and play, and you get plenty of calls once you've been playing for a little while. If we don't have something come in pretty soon, though, I'll look and see if I can figure out how to force that to happen. And we can just, you know, one thing we can do. Ooh. Okay, he stopped really fast. So you can just kind of pull anyone over. Oh, the other things you can do is you can put a barrier out. All right, we can ask for identification. And you get the name Jamie Canna. And so trying to remember how we, all right. So Jamie Canna, we can then do a subject. Oh, I don't remember how to spell it. I probably spelled it wrong there. Canna? I don't know if I spelled that right. Okay. Anyway, it'll give you information back to if you have any warrants or anything like that. And then you can just, you know, issue a warning. And then they're free to go. So that's kind of how like the normal traffic stop works. You know, when you're going on these calls and it's, you know, somebody's like transporting drugs or whatever, things tend to escalate. But most, you know, traffic stops don't escalate. You know, even if you're issuing a citation, you can choose the citation amount. You can document what you're citing them for. So a lot of those options are really cool. Like if you want to get into the realism, and there's just endless amounts of plugins, it seems like, that increases your realism and options you have, your toolbox per se. And all the police stations show up on your map, so you can quickly go to or go by a police station. As we're headed down towards one now. I think the one to the left is actually probably a little closer, so let's head over to that one. And you can turn your lights on without the siren. I think that might be J. I can't remember for sure what that command is, but that is something you can do. You don't always have to have the siren and the lights going. Excuse me, coming through. But it's amazing, and this hasn't happened yet since we've been playing for this video, but it's amazing how quickly things can escalate, and before you know it, there's just an all-out gunfight. And if you're not prepared, then your character certainly can die really easily. One thing I would love to see, if a company would get inspired, and I don't know if it would have to be Rockstar, if someone could actually come up with an engine that would, be as cool as this engine is ultimately. But and maybe we could do a little bit on the bike. But what I'd like to see is like a full-blown game that basically is what this game is, except adding some role-playing elements, and just really keeping up statistically with what's going on. So maybe you move up in ranks in the department, or maybe you start off and you're just patrolling, maybe even foot patrol, but you can kind of move up, and there could be some story elements. But I mean, honestly, I just like the gameplay of just sort of the day-to-day of, if you were a police officer in this crazy city represented in this game, like kind of what that would be like. So but I think there's some really cool things they could do if they just fleshed it out a little bit. It's already amazing for just being, a mod and some basically user-generated tools. It's just phenomenal. And they're always improving it. I think I saw recently somebody's working on maybe adding like fire department stuff to it. There's already like improved EMS features. There used to be, and I think you have to install a plugin for this now, but there used to be where you could have a partner. And I'm going to make sure that that's still not a feature. I think it's taken out of the base game now. I could be wrong. Like the current version of this, I'm not sure that it has that. All right, let's see. How do we get a call? So it's F7. And one issue is I'm using, here, let's just go to police department again. And see if that doesn't maybe reset things a little bit so we can get another call. I don't know what's happened. It normally calls come in pretty quickly. Almost too much. Like I think if you're playing this game for a while, you almost maybe want to toggle it down a little bit so that calls don't come in as fast as they do. But so we're back in a police cruiser. And we do have available for calls. You can hear the background chatter of the radio. Yeah, we don't want to go down in there. Sorry about that, fella. So I'm starting to wonder if I need to reset the whole game to get calls to continue. If something kind of, and then, you know, it's got its instability at times, for sure. Let's see. So I'm not seeing a way to... It's a way you can access your police computer to look up a license plate or a person's name. And you can not only search vehicles, but you can search. Let's see if we were right about the. Sorry, what am I trying to do here? Let's pull somebody over and see if we were. Oops, sorry. Oh, he might get out and fight. Yeah. Let's let him throw the first punch. Yes, indeed. Alright. He's just going to get run over now. Alright, so let's see if we were right about searching the vehicle. And we can go ahead and call in for EMS, I guess, since dude wanted to get into a fist fight with us. Yeah, I know I ran into your car, but alright, let's try F10. Oh, that did do it. So he's searching everywhere. Okay, so F10 worked. F10 worked on the search. It hasn't given us a result yet. There's the ambulance, and we can watch them while our character walks around and does a pretty thorough search here, it looks like.
Time to get busy. I'm on it.
Nothing of interest. In the boot trunk, a ticket for speeding. Okay. So now we need to get, if we hit Control H, we can get scene management, get a tow truck.
Might as well get the body bag out.
Uh-oh, I don't think he made it. Alright, it's been impounded. So it is gone. There's the tow truck that picked it up. Alright, so the searching feature did work. Alright, so let's go ahead and let this be video number 1. And this will serve as just an introduction. And what we'll do is I will split it up and I'll do another video and kind of reset things and get back into it and see if we can't target the to get radio calls happening again. So as always, thanks for watching. If you have questions, if you want to see more gameplay from this, please let me know. I am just loving this. It's hard to predict when things are going to really be like exciting, because sometimes it's just sort of the monotonous calls and things don't get as escalated or just regular, but that's what some of the fun is. Like, that's what I've really enjoyed. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching.